The year I turned 18, my parents were in a car accident. On our way to my college move-in day, they died instantly, and I was left paralyzed. My brother Jake and his wife saw me as nothing but a burden, so they dumped me at my sister Ava's doorstep. Luckily, Ava never resented me. I was paralyzed for a decade, and she took care of me for every single one of those 10 years. To cover my medical bills, she juggled 3 jobs a day, her body breaking down from sheer exhaustion. Her husband Leo finally snapped, "If you keep looking after your sister, we're getting a divorce." Ava didn't hesitate. She divorced him on the spot. Her selfless actions touched hearts across the internet, and she was dubbed America's most amazing sister. Everyone envied me for having such a wonderful sister, until I won the lottery and got $10 million. But I transferred all of it to my brother Jake. The entire internet condemned me as ungrateful. A reporter, Mr. Davis, found me. "You've been paralyzed for a decade. Your brother hasn't looked after you for a single day. Your sister Ava has stuck by you, taking on a mountain of debt for you, and even sacrificed her marriage. Why didn't you give her a single penny?" I looked up at Mr. Davis, my voice calm. "Set up hidden cameras in my house for a 3-day secret live stream, and you'll understand why." As soon as the hidden cameras were installed, the secret live stream began. Cassandra, my sister, walked in after work, sporting heavy dark circles under her eyes. She dragged herself to my bedside, preparing to help me clean up. Seeing a mess beneath me, there wasn't a flicker of disgust in her eyes, only profound heartache and self-reproach. "Riley, did you have an upset stomach last night?" She touched my forehead, blaming herself. "I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. I've been so exhausted from work lately that I slept like a rock. I forgot to check on you in the middle of the night and keep your blanket on, leaving you uncomfortable all night." I watched her silently, not speaking. The live comments, however, exploded. "My God, this sister is incredible. She just got home from work, saw this total mess, and her first reaction was to blame herself, right? If I'd worked all day and came home to that, I'd be fuming. She really is America's most amazing sister." She's making me tear up. Cassandra didn't know about the hidden live stream. She just single-handedly turned me over, preparing to help me to the bathroom for a shower, but she was too tired. Even with all her strength, she struggled to lift me from the bed. Just then, a knock sounded at the door. Cassandra opened it to find my brother Jake standing there. Her eyes widened in surprise. "What are you doing here?" Jake had a cigarette dangling from his lips. He said nonchalantly, "If I'm not mistaken, this apartment is the one Mom and Dad gifted Riley when she got into college, right? As Riley's brother, there's no big deal if I stay at my sister's place for a few days, is there?" With that, he just barged in. Cassandra was too exhausted to argue after a long day, so she just told Jake, "Then lend me a hand and help me get Riley to the bathroom. I need to give her a shower." Jake shot me a disgusted glance, muttering, "That's sickening. She reeks of pee and poop." "No way am I touching her." Cassandra frowned. "Jake, Riley is your own sister. She just gave you all $10 million she won. How can you refuse to even help her?" Jake scoffed. "She gave me the money willingly. You're not trying to guilt trip me, are you?" Cassandra sighed. "I respect all of Riley's decisions. She gave you all her winnings because she wanted you and your wife to live well. She's so good to you. Can't you be a little good to her?" Jake sneered. "What's the point of being good to her? She's just a paralyzed invalid, a waste of space for a decade. I don't know why you bother taking care of this useless person every day. She'd be better off dead." At this sight, the live comments instantly boiled over. "Seriously? Is this guy even human? Wishing his own sister dead right to her face? And his sister just handed him $10 million. I seriously don't get it. Her sister slaved for a decade taking care of her, went deep into debt, even lost her marriage, and got absolutely nothing in return. Is this sister out of her mind? She's ungrateful to such an amazing sister, but so good to this heartless animal of a brother? Did the paralysis affect her brain too?" Jake didn't help in the end. It took Cassandra over an hour to clean me up. She was drenched in sweat from exhaustion, but she still meticulously changed my clothes, settling me into my wheelchair. "Riley, you must be hungry, right? Sister will go make you dinner now." Due to extreme fatigue, Cassandra almost fainted when she stood up, but she only paused for a few seconds before forcing herself to walk into the kitchen. Soon she brought out grilled salmon, a rich beef stew, some steamed greens, and a pot of steaming chicken soup. Cassandra placed the dishes in front of me, then carefully blew on a spoonful of chicken soup to cool it before bringing it to my lips. "Riley, this chicken soup was made from a fresh organic chicken I specifically bought from a local farm. You always loved this when you were a kid. Try some." I turned my head, my voice cold. "I don't want to eat." Cassandra's eyes were filled with worry. "Riley, you already had an upset stomach. If you don't eat something to replenish your strength, your body won't be able to take it." I looked at her, my tone still distant. "I don't have an appetite." Then I looked at Jake, who was sprawled on the couch playing on his phone, and said softly, "Jake, I want that pastry on the coffee table." Jake didn't even look up, saying impatiently, "I bought that for myself. If you want it, push your wheelchair and go buy your own." Cassandra glared at Jake, then turned to me, her voice gentle. "Riley, eat your dinner first. After that, I'll go buy you a pastry, okay?" I stubbornly shook my head, refusing to eat the food she made. At this sight, the live comments exploded. "Is this sister crazy? Refusing her sister's home-cooked meal but demanding her brother's pastry? I thought she was just confused, but she's so utterly pathetic. Her brother treated her like that, and she's still fixated on his stuff? Poor sister, she's putting in so much thankless effort. She worked so hard to make a whole table of food, and Riley won't even look at it. That's disgusting. The more I watch, the more I think this younger sister is such a terrible person." The first day of the live stream ended. The chat was filled with insults directed at me. On the second day, Cassandra got off work a little earlier than usual. As she came in, she held a warm bag in her hand. "Riley, you wanted a pastry yesterday, right? Sister bought it specifically after work. It's your favorite savory kind. Try it quickly." She handed the pastry to me, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. I glanced at the pastry, my tone indifferent. "I don't want it now." A flicker of disappointment and sadness crossed Cassandra's face, but she forced a smile and said, "What do you want to eat then? Sister will make it for you." I shot her a cold look. "I don't want anything you make." With that, I maneuvered my wheelchair, ready to go to the balcony for some fresh air. As I exited my room, I bumped straight into Jake, who was holding a liquor bottle. The bottle in his hand fell to the floor, and he immediately exploded in rage. "Damn it, are you blind? You just spilled all my expensive liquor." He picked up the bottle and forcefully kicked my wheelchair. The wheelchair lurched violently, tipping to one side. "Riley!" Cassandra cried out, rushing forward, shielding me and the wheelchair with her body. Her hand was scraped by the wheelchair, leaving a deep gash, visible to the bone, bleeding profusely, but she ignored the pain, quickly steadying me before turning to Jake, shaken and furious. "Jake, you almost hurt Riley!" Jake glared at me. "She's useless. She can't even feel pain. Why are you so worked up? This is so annoying. All that good liquor wasted because of her." Jake grumbled as he stomped back into his room to continue drinking. Cassandra, still shaken, first checked me all over to make sure I was okay. Only after confirming I was unharmed did she endure the pain in her hand to inspect the kicked wheelchair. Finding a buckle somewhat loose, she immediately pulled out her toolbox. She tightened and reinforced it little by little, working late into the night. In the live stream, the comments continued to boil over. "I'm crying. Where can you find a sister this good? Her hand is so badly injured, yet all she cares about is her sister. Seriously, why is this amazing sister so unlucky lucky to be stuck with such a blind, heartless invalid of a sister. Exactly. Is this sister's heart made of stone? Her sister has done so much for her. Why is she so cold to her? No wonder they say unfortunate people often have something hateful about them. This sister is so hopelessly biased towards her brother, she deserves to be paralyzed. This is so suffocating. Sister, just let go. This kind of sister isn't worth it. The livestream chat was filled with outrage. Even Mr. Davis, the reporter, called me. Is this the 3-day secret livestream you wanted? Do you know what the chat has been saying about you these past 2 days? Your sister has done so much for you. Aren't you just asking to be hated? I glanced at Cassandra, who was quietly tending to her wound in the living room, and said calmly, there's one last day, then you'll know everything. On the third morning, Cassandra, as usual, came into my room as soon as she woke up. Riley, how are you feeling today? Is your appetite any better? She expertly checked my condition while asking softly. I didn't answer, only glanced indifferently at her bandaged hand. It was still oozing blood. Seeing me silent, Cassandra, as always, massaged my limbs. She moved my joints, preventing muscle atrophy. Her movements were gentle, as if she were tending to a precious treasure. Riley, look how nice the weather is today. After breakfast, I'll push you outside for a walk. The doctor said outdoor activities are good for your health. She looked out the window, trying to find topics of conversation, but I remained cold. No thanks. Her hand paused slightly, and she said nothing more. After the massage, she fetched warm water, meticulously washed my face and hands, then made me breakfast. The live stream comments continued to scroll. This sister is still being her same stubborn, lifeless act today. It's infuriating. Exactly. Her sister's hand is so badly injured, and she still has to take care of her. Does she not even offer a word of concern? Honestly disgusting. Some people just don't deserve kindness. That day, Cassandra didn't go to work. She said she wanted to spend quality time with me. After finishing everything, she pushed me to the balcony to bask in the sun. She combed my hair, trimmed my nails, and cleaned my ears. She made sure every inch of me was clean and tidy. After all the chores, she pulled a small stool and sat beside me. Gripping my hand tightly, she began to speak softly. Riley, do you remember? When we were little, you loved to pull me onto the balcony to sunbathe. You said the sun always made you feel better. On my wedding day, you cried so much, clinging to my hand and refusing to let go. You once said your biggest wish was for me to be happy. As she spoke, her eyes welled up. Just then, her phone rang, but she didn't answer. Instead, she gave me a deep look, then hung up. Then she looked at me, a faint smile on her face. Riley, it's time. I smiled faintly. This moment, it was finally here. With that, Cassandra straightened up, gave me a cryptic look. And then she did something that stunned every single viewer watching